Hello Scorpios, and welcome to Embrace the Moon Tarot and your new moon October 2017 reading. I didn't get a chance to sit down and do the monthly tarot scopes this month because I had some family medical issues that I had to attend to, but I wanted to make sure I still had something up here for you, and so I decided to focus on the new moon. The new moon is in Libra, which is about balance. So I'm going to focus the reading on some energy and vibrations that'll be available to you if you so choose to use it during the course of the new moon. What it is that you need to release that'll allow you to pull this vibration into your life if you so choose, and what it is that you can focus on that'll help you in that process as you move forward. So let me go ahead and finish shuffling for you and see. Resistance. Okay, let me go ahead and shuffle this other deck for release and focus. Release and focus. All right, so resistance is what you're going to experience during the new moon. And when I was shuffling, and for the bulk of these readings, I was focusing on the energies that are going to be available to you. However, with this particular reading for you, Scorpio, I feel that this isn't so much what's going to be available to you as much as energy that you're going to be creating during the new moon that you need to be aware of. So there's something going on that has the potential of shifting things, and you're going to initially want to resist. Sometimes when things in our life are working towards balance, there's got to be a bit of an upheaval first. That's the hard part, because the more we want balance, then the more we fight it. Sometimes the more upheaval can be a result. And I feel that that's a little bit of what could be happening for you this particular new moon. So things are going to shift. And it's actually going to be shifting in a direction that you don't readily see that's going to be ultimately for your benefit. And I feel it's actually going to be promoting or moving towards a conclusion of some sort, of something that's going on in your life. But it's one of those things where it feels or looks like it's going to get worse before it gets better. And because of that, you are going to personally experience resistance. So it's not so much that this is the new moon that's creating the resistance, as much as what's going to be transpiring around the new moon is going to have you instantly feeling like you need to resist and stand up against it. You do need to do whatever it is to take care of yourself accordingly, but make sure your resistance is suitably set and that you're not actually resisting something that can ultimately put you on the path that you've been actually working for and hoping for a while. So release, I have scrying and intuition, and I feel that this is going to be hand in hand with the resistance. It's going to muddle some of your intuitive reaction reflexes. Again, whatever it is, you're just immediately going to feel like you have to fight against it. You have to do something. You have to take control. You have to shift this one way or the other, because if you let it go, it's going to put you in a direction you don't want to go, or it's going to have a conclusion that you don't desire. And you'll become so focused or overwhelmed with the need to resist it that it's actually going to cloud some of your intuition. So your new moon reading is slightly different than what I've done so far, but I feel that it's very important because you actually want to know this because you have been wanting and working towards a specific conclusion. And if you know that the end result of some of the upheaval that you're going to be experiencing is going to be towards the conclusion you've been working towards, you won't resist as hard. You'll resist to the point of protection, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'd say go for it. Resist in the element of protection to make sure that you are taking care of yourself as you see this through and get to the other side and hopefully get to where you are balanced, what you've been working towards. But not resist to the extent that you are actually turning the ship around and heading towards a new shitstorm that you've been trying to avoid all along. So if you feel that you're resisting hard and you start to kind of question your intuition, then rely on the intuitive questioning of your intuition, if you can follow that one. And realize that maybe you need to tap into either finding a way that you can clear your head so that you can make sure that your intuitive hits are indeed intuitive hits and not resistant intuitive hits. And if you need to reach out to someone that you trust to help you find clarity in the situation so that when you are reacting, you are reacting to the situation and the way that's going to be most beneficial to you so that you can get to that balance once this new moon has finished and you are working towards the full moon. So what you need to focus on, invisibility, authenticity. And I feel that the message is focused primarily on authenticity. What is really there? So what you don't particularly see, that's where the invisible part comes in. What you may not particularly see, not just of the situation, but of yourself. That adds to the authenticity of the situation at hand and can add to the authenticity of the balance that you've been seeking and that you're hoping that is going to come once this upheaval has transpired. And the more authentic the balance, the better the balance is going to be, the more long-lasting that balance is going to be. So that's why you want to focus on authenticity. And you want to make sure, and that goes twofold for just not you and yourself and the situation at hand, but also for your intuition. Make sure your intuition is authentic and not reactionary. And make sure that your resistance is not beyond just self-preservation, self-protection. Well, self-protection is the better term, because self-preservation kind of puts us in that primal reaction mode, which sometimes creates, digs in the heels and makes it, like I said, it draws it out longer than it is necessary and doesn't get us to that balanced state of being that we desire. So nothing wrong with resisting when this upheaval occurs. Just make sure that you're resisting from the level of protecting yourself and not to the point where you're turning your ship around and driving into a storm that's going to make it harder to get to that state of balance. And intuition, make sure your intuition is not reactionary, but actually intuitive knowledge. And dig deep into that authenticity of yourself, what you may not see right away, authenticity of the situation, again, what might not be visible right away. And by looking into the authenticity, you can add to the authenticity of the balance that's going to occur when this does come to a conclusion. All right, that's all I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful new moon experience, a wonderful October, and hopefully I will see you in November. Until then, happy October.